Hello Live Wires, Heather Boyd Wire here. Today I'm making two different turtle pendants inspired by last week's live stream where I made turtle rings. What you're going to need for this project are your tools. I have my favorite round nose red pliers, which I now have a source for these. I'll link them up in the description of the video. I have the Xuron tweezer nose pliers, the flat nose pliers, and the cutters. I have a variety of beads and I'm using 20 gauge wire. For the first one I'm using about a 12 to 15 inch piece of 20 gauge wire. It's going to be quite small, so it can be earrings or a pendant. I'm going to start by bending it this way. This is going to be the tail, and then I'm going to bend these ones out on a bit of an angle. So we're just going to bend those ones out. And then I want you to imagine that an 8mm bead is going to go there, or it could be a larger bead. And then we're just going to start forming this around, and then we want to start forming the legs. So we're going to take this one here and just bend this kind of up and down, and then this one too. So we're going to bend it up a bit and down. So just see if they're about in the same position. You might have to like wiggle them around. And then we're just going to take this one. I'm just going to make them simple, like triangular. I'm going to bring this one up this way and then bend it straight up. And this one we want to try to get it about the same size. So we're just going to take that one, bend it over a little bit, and then take that one around there and bend it up. And then for these legs, we're going to just bring this up and down, and then up here, down here, and around. So same on this side. Bring that one up and down. You can almost draw it out first and trace it. Then that one here, that way, and that way. So already it's kind of looking like a turtle. So we're going to bring this one around here, and this will go straight up for the head. This one will go to the back. We want that line to be centered, so pull this one in a little bit so it's centered. Hold it in place. Bring this one around, and then bring this straight down. And now in there we can put the bead. So we're just going to get the green bead, stick it in there. It's maybe a little bit small. You can always like kind of bring these ones in a little bit if you need to. And then the idea is you want to wind it around the tail at the bottom. So just take this and wind it around once, and then just pinch that in with the tweezer nose pliers, and you could flick at the wrist, center that a little bit there. Could always adjust the shape of the legs if you need to. Push them in a little bit if you need to. I'm going to make the head a little bit like I did with the frog last week, so we're just going to stick this one on here. So then we could just hold that, surround it around one time with the wire, bring it straight up, and then we need the nose to be a little bit pointy so we can stick a jump ring in for a pendant. So we're just going to stick that one up here, and then we're going to take this, bring it around, and then do a full turnaround. You could either leave it plain like that, or we can do a spiral on the bead to make it a little more fancy. So just take that and wind it around the bead, just very gently. Hold it with your thumb, bring it around, you could pinch that one in a little bit if you need to, clip it, push that end in, and if you put earring hooks on them, they make very cute little turtle earrings. Now we can do the same with the rectangular bead. So I'm going to start again by just doing a very simple tail. So we're just going to take this, bend it around, bend that one around to the side, and we want it to fit on this bead, so we're just going to eyeball it. Take this one around here and this one around here, and then from here we can imagine where the legs are going to be, so we're just going to go up and down. Same thing here, we're just going to go up and down. And on the live stream I did sort of like these double spiral things. We're just going to do the same thing here, so we're going to bring it up and down, and then to give it a little bit more detail we're just going to go again down, just to give it a little bit more detail, and then straight up. So we'll do the same thing here, that way, and down, and then up, across, down, and up, and then straight up. So we can then check how it looks in here, and then up here, let's measure it, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go up and down, and down and up. On the live stream I think I did triple loops on either the bottom or the top, but we're just going to keep it simple and do a double loop. So up here again, down. Cut your wire longer if you're going to do more loops. This is pretty good though. So that one, and then this one here, we want to make sure it's more or less in the same position. You can bring it in a little bit to check. And around here, don't worry if it's not exactly symmetrical. Down. It just looks kind of funky with these spirals. And then up and across. So once you have that part done, just measure it up again to see where we have to turn the wire. It's going to be just up here. And same on this side. And then I'm going to bend this one straight up for the head. So we're going to just go up here, see how it's lining up. And then we're just going to make sure this is centered. Go around, bring it straight down, put it through the bead, and then take this and just wind it around the tail. We could have made the tail bigger if we wanted. It's a little small. The tail was a little small, so here's some alternative ways to make the tail. So you can just take your needle nose pliers and bend this down, and then bend this up on itself, a sharp angle, pinch it, and then just spread it out a bit and bend that back. And then the wire that goes through the bead will just hook into there. So the next way you can do it is very similar. So just take this down, and if you want it more rounded, use your round pliers and push it up like that, and then bend it across. Same way, you'll hook the wire into there. And then the last way, take your round pliers and bend this out and down, and then just take this part and bend it either that way or that way. We'll just bring it up, and then we're going to bring this one in, make sure it's about the same height, and then there. So how this one would work is the wire that goes through there will just hook around this part. If you're worried about this flipping, you can actually bring it back up the back. So we can just take this and bring it back up the back and then just twist it around. Clip it. So that's what we got so far. And then for this one, we're just going to bend it out. And we're going to just form the head. If you don't want to give it eyes, you can just keep it very simple. And we can just like make it more stylized. We're just going to bring it around here. Around here. I'll do a spiral in the head too. So we're going to bring that up. Down. And around. And if you want to do a third one, just bring it up and down. So it just makes it a little more fancy. And then from there, we can just bring it back here around to the front. This wire is not long enough. I would have cut it longer so I can make a fancy design here. So what I'm going to do is just clip it and add a wire. Often I'll do this when I run out of wire. I'll just improvise. So just take the wire and wind it around a couple of times. Clip it at the back. Pinch it in. Then I'm just going to make a pattern on the back. So you can either use your pliers or freehand it. If you want to use your round pliers, just bring it in. You can bring it out a bit from the surface. And we're just going to kind of bend it back and forth. If those pliers aren't big enough, use some larger round pliers and just bring it in, push it out a bit if it's easier to access, and just go back and forth a few times. If you need to flatten them a bit, just use your flat pliers. You could bunch them in a bit if you need to. So we're going to have to bring straight down. So once you're happy with that, just hold it in place. And just wind it around. You can just clip it in there, pinch it in, and then at that point you can just lay it flat on the table and push these around. If you need to bend them to form around the shape a little bit, just take the ends and just give them gentle little bends to hug the form of the stone or the bead. I made the tail a little short. You can definitely make it a little bigger, and it makes a really cool turtle pendant. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out our work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to submit your email, I will send you my free Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.